There is no peace for the man who has seen what he can become. That is a Epictetus quote, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers of all time. There is a version of you that exists in potentiality that is so much better than what you could imagine yourself to be right now. And the only thing stopping him moving from potentiality to reality and being your lived experience is the decisions that you make from this point forward. Your soul, guys, your intuition knows that you need to become this guy. If anything, I would say this is the whole fucking point and meaning to life. The fact that we have free will, the fact that we can do what other animals cannot do, to me, you know, what else is there to do other than actively pursue with vengeance and urgency the best version of myself that I could possibly be? I don't see it any other way. I don't see anything else to do in this life other than violently go after everything that I fucking want. And you know what? I don't even fucking care if I get it. But I know with my attitude, I will get it. But I don't even care. My day-to-day life is just peaceful. Even though I'm 1,000 miles an hour all the time, my day-to-day life is just peaceful because I'm doing everything I can to become this guy. When you're not doing that, because I lived this way for many years, there's a low-level hum in the back of your mind, just this anxiety, this question, who could I become? The reason why it's low level, when it's an existential problem, when it's very important, is because you quieten it, you dampen it. Now, in the Roman times, they called this the bread and circuses. So when the Roman Empire was doing dodgy shit, and they were biting them all in the arse, all the people that lived in the society, and you know, the Roman Empire was maybe starting to fall a little bit. Free bread, free entertainment, gladiators, circus, chariot races. Keep everybody looking down here so they don't see what's actually fucking going on. That's happening in your mind right now. This question that you know exists in there, this idea that you flirt with, who could I become? I've seen other people do it. I've seen these crazy transformations of physique. I've seen people go from broke to rich. Why couldn't that be me? What would that look like for me? What would my physique look like? I know you ask these questions because I asked these questions when I was at rock bottom, sniffing ketamine, doing Xanax, logging onto Pornhub 3 times a fucking day. Not able to speak in a seminar room full of people without almost crying. That's where I was. And I used to ask these questions. So I know these questions are fucking true, right? But you bury it. Stimulation and noise, and I need music on, I need a podcast, I need to talk to someone or FaceTime someone, and then it's just keeping yourself distracted in the outside world, right? There's music, there's current affairs, there's algorithms. I'm going to stay on fucking TikTok and Instagram, and I'm going to go to this festival, I'm going to go watch my favourite football team. I'm just going to do all of these things, and I'm going to stay perpetually in motion and busy. But my life is never really actually going to move forward, and I'm just going to be left with this feeling of like, what the fuck am I even doing? But if I confront the feeling of what the fuck am I doing and where's my life going, then I have to actually do something about it. Okay, more noise, more stimulation. This is where the majority of society actually fucking are in life. 99% of society are in this position. Society has made this happen. This is what you've got to understand. When the 99%, which represents your family, your girlfriend, your peers, everyone you went to school with, the mainstream media, the government, every fucking single institution on earth, and most people that you know, all accept mediocrity, all accept not trying very hard, all accept average. You can't help but also fucking accept all of that shit. So this is not your fault, guys. I want you to understand this. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You are encouraged to make easy choices. You grow up, right? And you've got all of these dreams and these ambitions of who you could be, and you want to be an astronaut, and whether that's fucking realistic or not, who cares? But there's no gap between who you could be and who you are. You're a kid. There's a fork in the road when you get to adulthood, or maybe you go through college, maybe it's the end of high school, maybe it's the end of college, maybe it's the end of university. It's normally one of those three positions, where you are now faced with the real world as an adult, and everyone's saying, right, it's time for you to, become realistic now. So what are you going to do? Well, I really want to do. No, 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 no. What are you gonna? Come on, drop that shit. Drop the dream. What are you going to do now? Recruitment, sales, marketing. These jobs that have no soul in them. Now, I'm not saying there's people that don't enjoy those jobs, but the context of enjoyment. You say you like your recruitment job. Let's say, for example, do you actually fucking like it, or is it the best out of a few bad options? Now, I'm not trying to get caught up on that particular thing, but my point is, people are so blind to what has happened. Rather than the brave, aligned choice of pursuing a passion, you went down the route of, I want guaranteed pay, I want job security, and I'm going to do this mind-numbing work to build somebody else's dream, somebody else's empire, and line their pockets, and I'm going to put my life on hold. I'm only going to get 28 days holiday a year. I'm going to be severely underpaid. I'm going to hate the fucking commute. I'm going to hate that cunt that's my line manager, and all these other Karens that I have to work with, but it's okay because I get £50,000 a year, or whatever you get. You've been lied to. You've been completely fucking conned. And the reason why I'm picking the job here is because that's normally that you got to understand careers and the job that you choose is of high degree in our life importance. Now, I'm not saying it should be, I'm just saying it is. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 40 fucking years you work. The decision that you make for what you do is a huge decision. And when you choose something of that magnitude and you choose something comfortable instead of a brave, aligned choice, that trickles down into everything else. Everything else. Now you're choosing the comfortable decision in everything you fucking do. That's why your body ends up the way it is. That's why you don't train as hard in the gym. That's why you're now not training with the same level of detail. That's why you don't track your lifts and progressive overload. That's why you half commit to nutrition. I'm tracking my calories, no idea what my macros are. Or I'm tracking protein and you're eating all these processed fucking Aldi protein, 31 grams of protein on these protein pancakes that are processed as fuck. It's half commit, like it's just this weak mindset, which is why you end up in the position that you're in now. And the training, the nutrition, the looking in the mirror and just seeing this average fucking physique for all of the effort that you put in, they are symptoms of this underlying problem, which is what needs to be truly attacked here. To fix your confidence, to fix your physique, to go after life and go and become who you know you need to fucking become. It's not just about the training split and the exercise rotation and the fucking macros. It's very important for building the physique, but it's not just about that. It's about your psychology. It's about the way that you're approaching life, your belief system. Right now, you have so many faulty belief systems that you don't even know are running the show. They're running your life. Beliefs run your life. You have to understand this. Truth is at the foundational level of reality and not truth in a factual sense, what you believe to be true. Whatever you believe to be true or not, you just believe to be true, you act in alignment with. When you act in alignment with it, it gives you evidence to reinforce the original belief. When I was at university struggling with social anxiety, I was in my head spiraling every single day saying, I can't talk to people, I get nervous, my voice quivers. What do you think fucking happened when I spoke to people? That would then give me the evidence to reaffirm the belief I'd be an even bigger mess when I would next speak to someone. Now, these beliefs, for you right now, is probably around, I can't fucking get shredded. I can't earn a lot of money. I can't chase my passion. I have to do this fucking dead out job. It's not for people like me. There are so many beliefs that you don't even understand are running the show. There are two beliefs that if we can flip, it's essentially like pulling one of the bottom cards out of the house of cards. The whole thing comes tumbling down. You don't have to dismantle every single one from the top down. You just take the key one in the bottom or the key two. In fact, no, the key one, I'll explain in a second, that just brings the whole house of cards down. Completely inverts the situation and sets you off on a different trajectory in life. The first belief is the social lie that we've just spoken about. You already know this. Maybe you're not as versed in how this lie actually operates. Maybe you're just awakening now in 2026. Either way, the reason why this is such a big thing to uncover is because you just know it makes sense. You know it's all bullshit. You know it's all fucking lie. You know something wasn't right. You always did, but you just never questioned it. I don't really need to sell that to you any more than you already know. You already know. Being average isn't okay. Choosing the comfortable decision will lead to regret and resentment later down the line. You already know that. The thing that we have to flip is you believing that you can actually go and do whatever you want and go and become this guy. Understanding that your choices, your actions, how you choose to spend your time and your free will directly impact your life and your experience. And you say, yeah, well, obviously I know that. You think you know it, but you don't understand it, because otherwise you wouldn't have lived the way you've lived. If you don't fix this belief, you will continue on the path you're currently on, which will only lead. You don't even want to know where it fucking leads. You know, you are unconsciously moving through life, being blown about by all of these different forces. It's like being a boat in the ocean with no fucking engine, no motor, and no sail. You don't know where you want to go, but you haven't got a fucking choice. The current will take you wherever you want to go. And if you're guided by the current, 999 times out of 1,000, you're going to end up somewhere you never even fucking wanted to be in the first place. You need the engine on. You need sails. You need direction. You need to move towards this version of you that you know you need to be. You have to go and become this guy. I think you have to spend time with this idea. You really do. What's the point of all of this otherwise? What's the point? The complexity of life, everything that we experience, all the pain that we have to go through, all the challenge, all the suffering. What is the point in all of it if we don't then get what we want in the end? None of us know the true meaning of life. But we can hazard a guess, or not even a guess to answer it, but we can put our finger on, well, this might make more sense as a way to live, and this probably isn't very good. But that's exactly what this is. Don't drift through life. Whoever created this, God, whether it's all by fucking chance, whether the universe is infinitely intelligent and it just produced the conditions that we live in now, who fucking knows? No one will ever know. But I can tell you right now that drifting through life, being a pawn in this system, is not what was intended. There is nothing else to do other than go and become this best version of you. There's nothing else to do. There is no other way to live a truly fulfilled and peaceful life. No way. But in order for you to go and do that, in order for you to even attempt to do that, you have to believe that you can do it. Words aren't enough. You can't keep rewatching this YouTube video and hoping that that is going to be the thing. You think you know it. You need evidence. Beliefs are all built around evidence. Evidence reinforces the belief. Right now, you have the words. You understand that you need to go and believe you can do it. You need the evidence that you genuinely believe that you can go and do it. You need a canon event right now. You need something that is signifying a turning of tables, that you are no longer drifting, and you are actually fucking going after what you want. You need something so powerful that after this, you can never look at life the same again. You never go back to who you was. That thing for you is going and getting in phenomenal shape. Not good shape, not great shape, phenomenal shape. 10% body fat or less. Jacked, conditioned, lean, just a fucking animal. A savage. An absolute fucking savage. That will mark the turn of events. But what it will also do to supercharge this evidence that you're trying to create, it gives you undeniable proof and a deeper understanding that if you use your time properly, you create a different version of life. So, depending on where you are right now, getting to 10% body fat could be a 12-week process, it could be a 20-week process. For most people, it's not going to be anything shorter or longer than that, which is not a lot of time in the grand scheme of your life. This canon event that's going to change the trajectory that you're currently on, right? But every single day, you will have inputs to do. Every single day, you have training. Every single day, you have nutrition guidance, you have habits, you have things you're trying not to do. Like me and my clients, we have psychological work to do. Basically, that's a fancy way of saying it. I don't refer to it like that, but belief systems that we install in the morning. Reflection and introspection on an evening. How have I performed today? What state was I performing in? Did the boxes get ticked? All of these basically mini contracts that you've got to do every day, every week, every month for the whole period of time. Now, when you get to 10% body fat, the first thing is you look in the mirror and you see this Greek godlike physique. that you've just been through the fucking trenches for, that you cannot mistake for luck or chance. You know that that is all of your hard work because you were the one that fucking did it. If we said set up a business and you started doing social media for the business and it blew up and it went viral and you made a shitload of money, it wouldn't give you the same kind of feeling that this would, even though that would be an accomplishment, because there's other conditions, there's market conditions, there's virality, there's getting lucky with a social media post, all sorts of stuff. Looking in the mirror and seeing that physique change is undeniable proof. Nothing even comes close. Now, not only do you gain this undeniable proof, you are priming yourself for this new direction, this new charge that you're going to make. This, what we're talking about, is the first domino to fall in a whole line of fucking dominoes until you become that guy. This is the first one, okay? But when you get to that end position, when you're in phenomenal shape, when you've been through the trenches, you're now high frequency, you're now high energy, you're now confident, you're now convictional. You have this different frequency and this different aura that people detect. People will treat you differently. You will notice a difference. All of these fucking years that you've had alive where you've thought this is just how people get treated will completely be flipped. This is how people treat me will completely be flipped based on how you now show up. Your missus is going to treat you different. The girls you're dating will treat you different. Maybe you've got kids. They're going to look at you like a fucking superhero. All of these traits that you now have, being disciplined, living with structure, the ability to say no, stopping all the bad habits, this is now your foundation for all of the other dominoes that you're going to hit. This is a supercharged canon event that is completely transformational internally more than externally. And it's transformational externally as well. But even more so internally. This is what happened to me. Exactly what happened to me. I'm at university, 2020, 2021, that final year. This was my graduation year, business marketing management. I ended up getting a 2-1, which for any non-UK viewers, I don't even know the fuck it actually. I don't know why I said that. I don't know how America score it. A first degree is the best. A 2-1 is like the second best. Business and marketing management. No idea I wanted to do fitness, coaching, none of that. At the time, I'm in debt in 2 overdrafts. As I said earlier, I'm on Pornhub 3 times a day. I can't look at people in the eye. I'm 19. I'm 20 years old. 21 years old. No, I'm 21, 22 years old. I can't speak in front of a classroom of people. I feel like a fucking child. I'm drinking 4 or 5 times a week as you do at university. I'm using ketamine, cocaine, MD, 2CB, Xanax, Valium, sniffing aerosols, smoking weed, doing fucking everything to just dampen that noise in the back of my mind, as I was saying earlier. I hated my life. I knew this isn't what I should be doing. I knew it. And I knew there was a version of me because I wasn't always this guy. I played football to a very high level, played for a few academies. I played for my county, West Yorkshire. Always played like a few years above the age group I was in. I was a sportsman growing up, and I just went down this path. Kind of lost myself at university, and I knew that fork in the road for me when I went to university, and if I'd have carried on being a sportsman, that would have been a different trajectory. And I kind of had that visceral image in my mind, like, well, what if I didn't go to uni and I just carried on being this guy? Where would I be now? What would I look like? I wouldn't be dealing with these problems. That was painful. And I couldn't look in the fucking mirror. I hated looking in the mirror. Not because of how I looked, and I looked shit. I looked terrible. Because of the man behind the physique, I fucking hated it. I couldn't look in the mirror. I couldn't get pictures taken on me on nights out, anything. Despised who I was. I watched David Goggins' first appearance on Joe Rogan. It's episode 1080. I've watched that episode maybe 100 times. When I watched that planted a seed in me for me to go and water. Now, I'm hoping this video is planting a seed in you for you to go and water. What that video did is exactly what I'm trying to do in this video. That video made me think. Anyone that isn't aware of Goggins' story, terrible upbringing, abusive father, ended up basically having a victim mindset, got into physical challenge, got into being a Navy SEAL to rewrite his own script in the shortest way I can say it. I didn't come away from watching that thinking, this is what I need. This guy's in a worse position than me. I can fix this. I don't know how, but I can fix it. I start running. Now, at the time, I couldn't run more than 10 kilometers. There is no way on fucking earth I can run 15 kilometers. There's no way. There's no fucking way. I ran 15 kilometers. Mind blown. That last 5 kilometers was the longest 5 kilometers of my goddamn life, right? Get home, can't believe it. Genuinely, like, shocked. I genuinely thought if you had a gun to my head, I couldn't do it. This is how little I believed in myself. Right, okay. What about 21k? So the next weekend, half marathon. I do that a couple of times and I'm like, hang on a minute. What other shit am I lying to myself about? I'm saying I can't beat this porn addiction. I'm saying I can't get off drugs. I'm saying I'm not confident. I'm saying I can't speak or network with people or speak to girls. It's all in my head. It's all in my fucking head. I said I couldn't run this distance. I did it. Now, that was my first domino. Okay? That's what you need, the first domino, to set the chain of dominoes off. What happened beyond that point, between then, 2021, and now, 2026, I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And the next domino and the next thing and the next thing and break the next glass ceiling and the next limiting belief and the next thing. And every time I did this physically, I would look at my business or my financial goals or my personal goals or who I could become. And it just kept inching up and up and up and up. And then it got more exciting. And then it created this fucking whirlwind of just like, I'm fucking doing it. I'm going for it. And that's why I took the running all the way up to the biggest event that I've done so far, 100-mile race. 163 kilometers. Ironmans, ran around Koh Samui twice, did all of these events just as proof, evidence, just to push that new limit on and on and on. And what that has given me, it isn't quantifiable. I can't put that into fucking words. I cannot put that into words. I can't tell you how that feels. Not because of the medals. The medals are fucking... I don't know the fucking medals. I don't give a fuck. A flying fuck. It's just being able to look at the man in the mirror and know that he's absolutely fucking going for it. That's all you need right now. That's it. That will leave you deeply fulfilled. That will bring a new rose-tinted lens to look at life through, even if your situation doesn't fucking change at all. Because you feel this difference. Your soul knows that you're actually fucking going for it. Instead of sitting back like a little victim. Just being a bitch. Now I want to leave you on this, guys. Hypothetically. I'm lying. Let's just imagine that for a second. Hypothetically, I am chatting out of my arse. I'm chatting shit. The whole shifting of beliefs and you're going to go on to become this version of you just from getting into 10% body fat once is a load of horseshit. Let's just say it's a load of bullshit. What is the worst case scenario from you applying that advice anyway and going and getting in phenomenal shape? What is the worst case scenario? You get in phenomenal shape. You feel more confident than you've ever felt before. But you don't go and become this guy later down the line. Okay, well that seems fucking terrible, doesn't it? Do you not think that would be a more advantageous position to be in than the one you're in now? The fucking one place that you want to be? All of this effort you've been putting into the gym, it just hasn't been working. Don't you think you actually want to just fucking do it? You got to make a decision, guys. You got to stop flirting with the idea. You've got to stop subduing those thoughts and silencing your intuition. That big brother trying to tell you, look, I will guide you. I need you to first get annoyed. I need you to think about who you could become. I need you to get excited about who you could become. Stop drowning me out. That's what he's basically saying. You've got to stop doing that. You've got to spend more time in stillness. Go for a walk. Don't take your headphones. Don't take your phone. Think. Drive in silence. Go and get in phenomenal shape. One life, guys. One opportunity. That's it. That's all you've got. I want it for you because I know what it did to my life. And every single man on earth deserves to feel how I feel. And I don't want you to feel this at 40 years old or 50 years old. I want you to feel it fucking now. I'm hoping there's a fucking 21-year-old on the side of that screen. I'm hoping guys of all ages, but I hope there is a man on the other side of this screen at the age I was at, battling with this battle of the self, thinking, I need something to just get me over the edge and go do it. Go and fucking do it.